Hey, I'm Louie Palmer and welcome to PlayBetterDrums.com and welcome to an extension idea on the Blushda lick. So there are a couple of videos on the site on the Blushda lick, phrasing it in triplets, phrasing it in 16th notes. So we're going to continue with the 16th note idea, but phrase it differently and also change the sticking to the left hand leading. So originally we had together, right, right, left. And we're phrasing a 16th note, so it's going to be like a 3/2 rhythm. The outline of the rhythm is this. And then we just put that diddle note in. So if you're unfamiliar with the Blushda lick, then refer to the other videos on the site. Perhaps learn it with the right hand first. So then we can phrase it with the left leading with the left hand. So now we have together, and we're playing the diddle with the left now. Together, left, left, right, and then the same again. It repeats. And I saw Steve Smith do something similar. I think he was playing this sticking, this lick. I could be wrong, but he phrased it in a cool way between the snare drum and hi-hat, right hand on the snare drum, left hand on the hi-hat, and he would open the hi-hat, and he would also mess with the amount of accents he threw in, which I'll get to in a second. So the difficult part with this is it's leading with the left in theory, although we're starting with a together note, but it's getting from the hi-hat down to the snare drum for the diddle note. It's difficult. So slowly. And then you can mess with opening the hi-hat, which is the way I like to play it. You can be very specific with the length like that, or you can just leave it open. So it's going to take some practice perhaps to get that diddle note coming down from the left, from the hi-hat down to the snare drum. It's a little tough. And then like in the first lesson when we covered this phrasing in 16ths, we can then add a 16th note accent every other time. Or we can do it every time or every other time. I like the phrase where it's one accent, then two accents, then one, then two, and so on. So that would be this. And you can start with the single note and continue with that 1, 2, 1, 2, or you could start with the double. That's actually kind of a nice one when you're putting it in just one bar, because you get that double accent at the end. And if you're in a more open situation, maybe when you're soloing or not constricted to just 1 or 2 bars, then you can mess with how many accents you put in, where you put them in, for example. And then you can then, which is what I'm trying to work on right now, is switching between the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And I should also mention that with the left-hand side, like we did in the previous lesson, you can also orchestrate it with bass drum. So if we're going right to left, the sticking doesn't really change. We finish the sticking on each side, and then we're free for the other side. So then you can get into some cool question and answer things between right side and left side, and just trying to work on being free with how you phrase it. And then you can obviously orchestrate it differently around the drums with different cymbals, different sides of the kit, and also toms as well.